Whilst we're doing that,
Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. We're going to do the podcast tonight. We'll start at 7:30. We're just now doing microphone checks and general chatting. So say hello on the chat, on the comments, and we'll say hello back. But thanks for joining in.
And whilst we're doing that, I'm just going to go build an alpha. So
an Alpha Jax?
No, I'm at the Alpha UK site, so I can build a Giulietta.
Yeah.
So I'm having some fun real quick.
I wish they made a Giulia wagon.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I'd sell my current wagon to buy it.
The current wagon.
Well, yeah.
Where is that?
ABS module is the latest thing that Doug and his team, Luke, discovered. So
okay,
they're discussing that with Alex to find out.
Right. No, that's cool.
What you want to do.
Okay.
So yeah, pinpointing things, fixing things. Yeah.
Nice.
Being patient. What else can I be?
Yeah, no, exactly right. Okay, so
who all's with us tonight? Say hello in the comments. We want to know who's in the peanut gallery. Desperate enough to watch us ramble away.
Who knows?
What? That's weird. Brennan just tagged me in a post. Huh. Interesting. Well, we're here in the pregame before 7:30. Have you guys heard about Avant's car club? They're based up in Seattle. They've now picked up or created a group here in Denver. It's a bit smaller, but if you look up Avant's Denver, like the Audi Avant, they've got some cool stuff going on. They have events and whatnot. They have a shop, so I bought a few t-shirts off of them and got some Alpha t-shirts inbound. So check them out. Look them up on Facebook and websites and IG and all that stuff. But you can just look up Avant's itself or Avant's Denver and you'll find them. Brennan Sullivan is the local POC or point of contact for those guys.
Yeah, definitely.
And like I said, he just tagged me in a post just now, so it kind of quite. I'll dump the link in the C&C chat or C&C podcast.
Yep.
Let me pin that to the top. Hey Tim, how you doing? What's going on? You got Tim Crawford with us. Let's see Marquez's announcement.
Okay. So, oh, for God's sake, what's this?
And pin to top. All right. Done. Yeah. John's got it shared out to his team, his group. I'll share it out to Southern C&C, or regular C&C page. Share it out to our Southern brothers and sisters. Let's see, share it to a group. Southern Colorado Cars and Coffee. If you guys haven't heard, if you're down south in Colorado, go check out our Southern Colorado Cars and Coffee Facebook group. We're trying to grow the car scene down there as best we can.
Yes. I'm just messing around.
Tim, you got a 2020 GT 500? Holy cow.
Refuse to buy one with markup. Way to go.
Don't give them that ADM. No way. Smart man. What color is it? Can you dump a picture in the comments? Also, no pressure, but if you'd like to, we would love to do a members ride video on your GT500 if you'll have us. We've been assembling an audio and video team. We're just trying to break through the weather and get started, but we've got some video projects for this year, trying to break into YouTube a lot more. But if you'd like us to come check out your Rapid Red GT500, send me a message or something. I'd love to get our team together and do a little photo and video shoot. We're also kicking off a newsletter. So if you want to join our local car event spam, send us a note at newsletter at coloradocarsandcoffee.com and we'll add you to the list. We've got about 250 people signed up. So join the email newsletter. We're going to start that about every 2 weeks or so. We've got some team members, Ryan and Scott, that will be leading that project. Terry's overseeing that. So be cool if you join our spam. Okay, thanks, Tim. That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've only crashed 2 or 3 cars that people let us drive, so no worries, Tim. Don't worry about it.
We are fully insured. Don't you worry about a thing.
You're good, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're good.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the traction control off button because I had a GT350, so we're good.
I know how to hit curbs and trees. So with Steve and I, it's in great hands. He'll turn off traction control and I'll turn on your insurance premiums.
Well, we've got an insurance sponsor. We've got Dave Lowry. So
Dave will take care of it.
he can cover us for the day, right, Dave? Dave, you out there? Hello, Dave?
Dave.
But if
Come
you
on,
don't know,
Dave.
if you don't know, check out Dave Lowry Insurance. He's based there in Castle Rock. All state insurance. Check him out.
Okay, groovy. All right, where are we at? Ooh.
Podcast.
Yeah, I have no idea where I'm
So
at.
Hayden didn't respond yet, so he's gone quiet. He did say 7:30 is fine, so we'll see what he says.
I hope you're here. Give him 6 minutes. We're good. Just messing around. Messing around, kids. Messing around. Nope. Oh, no. Ooh, maybe that. Yeah, we'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, yeah, we'll do that.
Vehicle Vault down in Parker.
Yep,
Yes,
that's still a thing.
Definitely still a thing.
Mm-hmm.
For a while there, they were not advertising it just because of COVID. They want to keep things on the down low, but it is active, up and running every second Saturday of the month.
Yeah.
Hey, Hayden, how's it going?
Hello.
How you doing? You sound good.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I wasn't trying to say that I wasn't going to be here. I was saying that I wasn't sure if I was going to make it.
Well,
No,
we,
you're good.
we misinterpreted what iffy sound meant. We thought iffy meant you were iffy. So
I was pretty iffy. I just didn't know
See,
if I was
that's
going to
how-
get. If I
that's
would-
how
if-
we interpreted it, you know?
Yeah, but to me, iffy is it can go either way.
So it's like a 50-50 for you.
The 50-50, yeah.
Oh,
I
I
was
would
gonna-
consider
I was
more,
gonna
more of
evade-
a.
I was
I
going
would
to
consider more of
evade.
a 25% yes, 75% no. It's more of an
No, I
iffy
don't think
kind of-
that's how. I don't think
No?
that's how iffy works.
That's not how it works.
No, I don't think so. I think that's. I don't know what's a good. Not looking good is where I would if it was 25%. 25% or less. 21 to 25% is not looking good.
Oh, that
25 to 50
different
iffy.
term.
Yeah.
Oh,
In my opinion, how I use it.
So we need like a.
I don't know how they
Hayden
do things. I don't know how they do
like a
things.
translator.
I don't know how
Yeah,
they do things
translator.
down in Maryland, Steve. But in
It's been
Pennsylvania,
it's been a
iffy means
while.
iffy.
It's been a while since I've been to Maryland.
Okay, I don't know how they do things in the Air Force, Steve. But
It's been a while since I've been in the Air Force.
you're still you're not in the Air Force, but you're basically in the you're in the universe.
I am in
NSA.
I circle in that galaxy. That's true.
That's right.
NSA.
So-
of this nonsense he talks.
Trung, I'll probably crucify your name there, but Trung. F80 M3 sounds pretty sweet. Wait, what year is that? Got a picture you can share with us in the comments?
Terry, I've been learning to play FIFA 21. I'm getting
Oh, good.
okay at it.
Okay.
I got to raise the I had to raise the difficulty a couple times, but I forgot what there was like a shot button before. So I was like getting these breaks and like pulling these like really weak shots. It was funny.
That's great. Now I have to get the stupid thing rebuilt, and then I can go buy it, and then we can have some fun.
Yeah, we'll have to play together for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, that's pretty exciting there. 2016 Sapphire Black. Very nice.
Oh, I didn't realize we're both wearing soccer jerseys.
I am.
Dude, are you kidding?
Oh,
That's great.
that's excellent, dude.
We're such bros.
Yeah, because I watched City beat Mönchengladbach today, 2-0.
The one manager at my work is a Liverpool fan, and he's just been losing his mind.
Oh, then
He just looks so bummed out when I see him.
Aw. You know what? Just go right up to him and say, 4 in a row at Anfield? That
Oh,
hasn't happened since 1923.
yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
Mark, when do we do meets?
We don't.
We don't really do a lot of meets. We occasionally do meets at Sonic on Friday evenings. We rotate the locations. But our group is a portal for everybody to place their events in. So if you just look at our events tab, you'll see what all the events are. Right now, there's not a whole lot going on because of weather and all that kind of, and COVID and all that crap. So yeah. So you got 2000 Mark for Golf. That's pretty cool. What color is that? What do we think about police chasing street racers? We're not a big fan of street racers. We think you should take it to the track, just because that's where it belongs. And
That's where it always begins. There's no just because. Okay. It's as simple as
exactly
that. If you
right.
read our rules, you'll see exactly how we stand about street
Yeah.
racers.
Yep. We do not promote that at all.
I have no tolerance for them, and I really hate them. Anyway.
All right, John.
that time,
we
kids.
will. Yes, we will turn it over to you. So please take it away.
Please
You
ruin
want me
my
to kick the intro? Or should we just
Kick that mule, John.
Kick that mule.
Right. Here we go. Welcome to the Colorado Cars and Coffee Podcast, your weekly unscripted discussion about local car events, news, reviews, and deep dives. Always bringing you the latest on the local Colorado car scene,
Really?
tickling your eardrum with a 10mm socket since 2020.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, the fade out. He hit it.
Fade out.
I fixed
Fade
it.
out. Yes.
All right. Let's go.
What's up, guys? You're listening to the Colorado Cars and Coffee Podcast with me, John, Steve, Terry, Hayden, and Jordan.
Who's on mute? And he's done.
We're
Somebody
here.
get Jordan.
He's turned into a Miata, everyone.
What happened?
Some wizard.
Oh,
He's now become an NC Miata, or is that the USS Chester Nimitz? I can't
No,
tell.
wait.
Jordan, don't go. We just got started.
What was that horrible cartoon where like
Let me guess.
you need to turn into
Internet
a car?
trouble or what?
I swear.
Oh, yeah. It's going through 4 or 5 stone walls. Yeah.
He lives in a castle, everybody.
I have
Castle.
to watch doing the more inside Miata jokes because that only I think only Jordan noticed that, but that's okay. I called his Miata an aircraft carrier.
Oh, it is.
Anyway.
It is the Nimitz. All right, let's go. Let's do this.
All right, let's get to the events. So our first event coming up is on Saturday, February 27th at 10 a.m. It's the Unknown Cruise from Team Unknown in Colorado Springs. All car clubs are invited. You're going to meet up at Fountain Creek Regional Park, and then it's going to go on from there.
Yep, and Galentine's Day or Valentine's Day has passed, but there is a Galentine's Track Day coming up. Pikes Peak International Raceway has women and female friendships in the track. So February 27th, which I think is a Saturday. Yeah, it's a track day providing instruction exclusively for women by women. Unfortunately, it's too late to sign up at this point, but I believe you can still go and spectate. Sounds pretty cool. I should probably find one for men because I need to learn how to drive on the track.
We'll get you out. We'll get you out there this spring. Don't worry, Jordan.
Yeah. All right. So this Saturday, the 27th at 4 p.m. Is the Empire Nismo Enthusiast. So they're having a meet at Empire Lakewood Nissan on the 27th. They're going to have food truck, some prizes, doing a $50 voucher that can be used for any parts and service with Empire Nissan and 4 different categories. So it's basically $200 of total prizes. The categories are the best Z chassis, R chassis, S chassis, and other Nissan. So definitely go check that out. It's on 14707 West Colfax in Lakewood. That is Empire Lakewood Nissan. So all you Nismo enthusiasts, Osborne, you can't go because you don't have one. And off you go. And that wraps up the events.
All right.
Woo!
So we're on to topics now.
Woo!
Our first topic, we're talking about the Lego Porsche
Yes.
911 Targa.
It's
Turbo.
this is a classic. It's a classic 911.
Yes.
This
Seriously.
is the new Targa.
$149.99. And if you're a VIP on Lego site, you can pre-order it right now. But it does give you the wonderful option of a either turbo or a Targa in the kit. And that's actually not a bad price. $150, you just buy 2.
Okay.
You don't have to make that decision.
Yeah, you have the Target and the Turbo
Right,
next to each other.
Yeah.
Right. You
Or
have
you can just buy one and then build one up, enjoy it for a while, tear it down, then build it into the other one thing. I think it only needs a few extra parts to make it into that other thing. So you might not have to buy a whole second one, but there are some bits and pieces that you do need to.
Good luck.
Convert
Good luck
it.
finding the different.
Yeah,
pieces.
might as well just buy a second one. Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, you should just
They-
buy a
they-
second one.
They know what they're doing.
At first,
Yeah.
I thought you were saying $150 like it was expensive, and I was
No,
going to say that
it's
these
cheap.
things sell like hot cakes.
Yes, they do. It's cheap.
At $150.
This is a 2-in-1, kids. So you decide which way you're gonna go. Remember those good old days of the 2-in-1 model kits when I used to build model cars and stuff. The 2-in-1 was always good. I always bought 2 kits because I kind of wanted to build both.
Oh, so
So,
there
yeah.
is no need. There is no need. They just provide the parts, like Steve was saying. There's
Yeah.
no need to. Nice.
Buy 2. Support Lego. Support their ability to
They need all the help
destroy
they can
the
get.
soles of your feet. Support that.
Support
Depending
Lego.
on how you look at it, this is either Denmark's worst or best export.
It's both.
I kind of always like Tom Christensen for a Danish export, but this is good too.
No, this is it. So yeah,
Don't
honestly,
buy
I just
the
think
Mega
it's kind of
Bloks
neat.
knockoff.
Don't do that. Don't go cheap. Don't ruin your kids by cheap Lego sets.
These are really fun build. I have the Aston Martin DB5. That's the same size and scale, same price too. That was a really fun build.
Yeah.
So I really want this.
So I don't know how many Lego people are out there. I mean, I built the Saturn V Lego. I have a bunch of Star Wars Lego, and stuff like that. So, yeah, they are fun. So
this is about Jordan. Is this sounds like about roughly the size of a 118 scale?
I'm not sure exactly what size 118 because this is 14 inches long.
14 inches long is about right.
Yeah,
it may be slightly larger.
It's a good size. Fits on most shelves, I
mean, it does have some really good features. It does have includes real spoiler integrated into the engine cover.
It seems like these these bigger ones, they're always a limited time, right? They always kind of sell for a while and then they stop selling them.
Honestly, almost every Lego set is a limited time.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it depends and then they bring them back or they go or they put like hard to find on here.
The real question, does the success of these Lego car models prove that car guys are just grown children?
I don't think Lego has to prove that anybody in the cars is a grown child because I am a grown child and I'm in the cars and I don't need Lego to validate that for me.
I think Lego is banking on it.
Oh yeah,
and they are making bank on the fact that car dudes and dudettes are money spenders.
It's a blast. I mean, you should see the detail of the inline six in my Aston Martin. Like they go all out.
Yeah, they do. I mean, even the detail when I built the Saturn V, it's like the interior detail. I mean, even though you'll never really see it because you put the cladding all over it, but there's a whole thing to it. So yeah, definitely. So if you guys like this kind of stuff, I do. I'm probably going to buy a couple. But yeah, there you go. Lego.
And next to our topic is we're talking about the 2022 Mercedes-Benz C-Class. What do you guys think?
I think.
Sorry, Hayden. Go ahead.
What is I'm looking up the 2021 right now because I thought this was pretty much it. What are we?
It's the 2022.
Oh no, it is. Okay. They've already put this styling into some other thing that they make.
Yeah, the full-size S-Class.
I don't know. I'm a bigger fan of the modern Mercedes stuff than I am, say, the modern BMW stuff. I just think that I don't know. Even the interiors have done way better, and they still look pretty decent. And it's there's even more thought towards the driver, but I don't know. Styling wise, it's a modern car. I don't know. It's just It's hard to build like really really stunning styling into modern. Modern.
Kyle pretty much nailed it. It's definitely a mini S-Class now.
Mini S-Class. Yeah, it's the S.
That's what it
is. What it looks like.
Interior is gorgeous. Exterior is gorgeous. The 4-cylinder, I think, disappoints some people, judging from some of the forums I've seen. But I mean, at the same time, it's we're progressing towards better emissions. It's kind of inevitable.
Yeah, and entry level, turbo 4s are pretty much an inevitability now. And the entry range for a lot of stuff we're seeing are turbo 3-cylinders. So we're just getting smaller and more turbocharged.
Talking about new sedans, Chung says you guys see the new Lexus Rc 500. Is that the one that they're keeping the V8 sort of like the ISF, but it's not the ISF, but it's.
Is talking about the IS 500?
It's brand new. It just got revealed.
The RC is the coupe. The IS 500 is the new sedan. It's awesome. It's a naturally aspirated V8. Some say it'll be the last naturally aspirated V8 sedan, at least from Lexus.
IS 500F. Yep. F Sport brings back the 5-liter V8.
It sounds awesome. Donut Media did a video on it.
It doesn't look bad.
I don't know.
472 horses.
Their stuff has been pretty appealing. Like the GSF was and is really cool. Of course, there's the LC 500, and then they're coming out with this. So Yeah, I like it. This is much more appealing to me than the Mercedes, styling wise and everything.
And the IS 500 is considerably cheaper than the RCF. I mean, not way cheaper, but mid 50s, I think, is what they're expecting it to come out as. So for a high-end luxurious V8, that's not bad.
Yeah. So just circling back to the Mini S class here. So some of the decision to drop the 6 is essentially the vehicle size. So if they did the 6, they would have added at least 2 inches to the length. Then, of course, the overall rate to, the weight on there is going to affect handling, of course, and the vehicle dynamics. But also that it was essential for them to keep the weight down because of the hybrid system. So that's a lot of reasons why they kind of went to the actual 4. And somewhat disappointing, there won't be a coupe for the C.
Yeah.
And the wagon will, of course, not come here because nobody in this country likes wagons because you're all deadbeats. You're all deadbeats, and you've ruined the wagon.
Why get a wagon when you can get a CUV, a slightly taller wagon?
Right. So just get the wagon, kids. You all should go buy wagons and force them to import them. So it is a little bit disappointing that the coupe's not coming, but I can see their logic to it because they have other coupes out there within, the range. So it kind of makes sense for it. But yeah, it's actually not too bad. It does look good. I mean, it is definitely a Mini S-Class, and the interior is really nice. I'm not a huge fan of the massive iPad in the middle of the console, but at least it's surrounded by things, so it doesn't. That's one of the things about like the Tesla, like the Model S, that the early ones that drove me nuts was it was just like they just stuck an iPad right there and said, "Oh, there it goes." At least the Mercedes, they kind of, there's other stuff around it that kind of makes it try to blend. So yeah, honestly, it's really not bad. We'll see what it looks like in person when they get here.
It looks like there might be, and I can't get anything too high resolution, but you might have a couple knobs and buttons for like HVAC and the things that are annoying to press on a touch screen.
Yeah, the touchpad. Right. So yeah, overall nice, not bad.
Yeah.
Nice. That's nice when they keep those physical buttons versus touchpad for everything.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah. Another new car that also looks great is the Porsche Tycan Cross Turismo. Has been confirmed, which is really nice.
My friend said it looked like somebody squashed another car, and I said I think that's because you're used to looking at the Macan and the Cayenne, because the back end especially does look like a shortened version of that. But
yeah,
like I said, a squashed CUV.
This is not the first, second, or third time we've talked about this car. But
yeah,
it is
good.
Just awesome.
Yeah, I do like the idea. I do like how it looks. So, I do love the wagon. I've always loved the wagon. So, the See It is not bad. I mean, it's way out of my price range completely, but that's good. At least they're starting to offer EVs that are starting to look more stylish. Is where we're going. I mean, I understand Tesla's model. I understand what they're doing. There's certain things you don't need because you don't have an internal combustion engine, but at least you could sculpt it so it looks a little bit better. So it's good to see that we're starting to see these more specialized designs and something that just kind of looks really nice on the road. And the way it sits, it does, to me, it has like a mean look to it.
Yeah.
So Kyle, you were actually one of the guys that, if you're seeing, I'm sharing the screen for Out of Spec Studios, and you've got the picture. I don't know if that was you or another team member on Out of Spec. So, yeah, what can you tell us about it? Or do you have too many NDAs you sign or something?
Embargoes.
Yeah, I was waiting on the embargo.
Yeah.
Well,
somebody got it. They got it nice and dirty though, so that's good.
Yeah, I see that.
I actually got to see a sedan, of course, not the Cross Turismo, but I saw a turbo tearing off down the street today in silence.
Nice.
He was out like a bat out of hell in silence.
That's great. Yeah, we should get Kyle on again so he can tell us all about.
I'm sure we will.
once
Oh.
the non-disclosures are done.
The embargo was lifted.
Oh, good.
nice.
So next podcast, Kyle's going to be on talking about this car.
Next podcast, Cross Turismo special. All
Yes.
right.
Basically, hey, I'm game.
I like it.
3 hours, all about this.
So what's it? I mean, I'm just going to say this. What's interesting, just what I'm reading here, it's like the 522 horsepower dual motor setup of the Tycan 4S is most likely the candidate for the Cross Turismo's base, and again, base power train with the 760 horsepower turbo, which is funny to say, and 750 horsepower turbo S models is set to join the lineup as well. So they give you really good options here.
They think that the S is they're not gonna have a base Cross Turismo. It's gonna be an S and higher. Is that what you said?
No, well, basically they're saying that the current dual motor setup in the Tycan 4S is most likely the candidate for the base power train.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then they're going to offer the 670 horsepower turbo and the 750 horsepower turbo S.
So maybe no rear-wheel drive only Cross Turismo.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, our team, we're hopefully heading down to Colorado Springs, Porsche of Colorado Springs here in middle of March to go check out a Tycan. It won't be the Cross Turismo, but we're excited to get our hands on a Tycan for a few hours.
It's not going to drive significantly differently. You can just imagine looking at it with a slightly different back on it.
Yeah. Yeah, but our audio video team is going to head down there and check it out. We're pretty excited.
Okay. So, yeah, we're definitely excited to do that. It's something that we started and then we need to finish. So definitely be good. It's exciting to get it done.
Yeah. Our next topic we're talking about is how people remember real car names instead of just numbers and letters. What did you guys think about that?
Well, I thought it was funny that seems to be the case. I mean, alphanumeric has never been what sticks in people's minds, but I just thought it was funny that we were thinking about any German cars, and obviously Volkswagen is full of them, like actual names, but BMWs, and we couldn't think of the old Isetta.
That's the only one.
And that's the only one. Mercedes, except for the nicknames, always alphanumeric. Volkswagen, interestingly enough, always not alphanumeric.
Yeah, it's interesting how Lexus has IS 500, so 5 liter, IS 350, 3.5 liter. Once you start understanding some of the codes, and same way with the Mercedes 335, BMW 335, 3 Series 3.5 liter. Once you start understanding that, it helps kind of clarify it. But the average person, even mini car enthusiasts, just don't pick up on that, and it's more.
Well, it's nice. It's nice when they have a code, but it's terrible when they break away from that code and they go, "Oh no, we're going to do this now."
Yeah.
Forget about that code we had. We're now going to name things this way because some of the things don't match up with BMW anymore. They are. It's like who's that just said it's the worst? You are absolutely correct, True, and you're absolutely right. Terrible. Although between us in here in the group, we probably know 95 to 98% of the model codes and numbers for BMW, but average Joe wouldn't know. Doesn't know.
They really don't know.
Yeah.
But then again,
trying to keep up with the latest developments is always tough. Like 230 and 228i and 240 and so on and so forth.
Well, like you said, it doesn't. In the case of BMW, at least, the numbers don't even match up to the engine size. So
a
340 is a 3 liter, not a 4 liter.
Right, and an M4 is now a 2-door, and then M3 is a 4-door.
Well, they did switch to this thing a while ago where all the even numbers were going to be 4 doors, all the even numbers are going to be 2-door, and all the going to be coupes.
Yes, yeah.
And all of the odd numbers are going to be 4-door.
Mm-hmm.
They
just threw it out the window and said, "We'll do whatever we want."
Oh yeah.
The Mercedes S63 starting years ago was a 5 liter. So, or the
Does
the,
Mer-
si-
does
the
Mercedes-
63 anything?
Does Mercedes have names?
No.
No,
I
that was
mean,
that was the thing I was saying.
On
was
their
that
passenger cars, not really.
nicknames are the only things that stuck, like Hammer, and just
AMG Hammer.
yeah, AMG Hammer, Gullwing. They're just nicknames. That like the
nicknames, right.
Gullwing is the 300 SL.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, but, if you look at some of the Mercedes, like the Sprinter, obviously they have a
Oh,
name.
that's one. Yeah.
How
How
we're
about
talking
Audi? Does Audi have any names?
Audi Quattro. Have a nice day.
Quattro. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I just like Lotus. Everything's a name, and they all start with E.
Right.
Yes.
They put some thought into it.
No, they don't. They're English people. Shit, man. They're all from Coventry. What the hell do they know?
Well, one's named after the guy's daughter, right? Elise.
Yeah,
Elise.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's kind of a good girl's name, really. But
I mean, as on Steve's point, it's like, the average Joe really doesn't know and really doesn't care.
well, what I was thinking was if you ask not a car person, but just the average person, name a Ferrari, I bet they say Testarossa.
Oh yeah, of course they do.
Yeah, because they remember Miami Vice.
Yeah.
And then this like Testarossa is just like it's just such a good sticky name. to, like, have in your head,
It's either that or Magnum PI 308 GTB. That's going to be the two most people know. And then
But I don't think they know I don't think they know 308
I don't-
GTB off.
No.
I
No, these are
disagree.
308.
Hayden, I disagree. I don't think the average Joe on the street would say Ferrari Testarossa. I just don't think.
What do they
No.
say? Which one? Which one do they mention?
what do you think Ferrari they got to mention, Steve?
Enzo was pretty popular because of
Somebody, yeah. If they're younger, if they're like say like under 30,
Um,
Enzo is a good.
Or
maybe,
5.8.
maybe F40, but
F40 and F50 are pretty popular.
Testarossa. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I just think Miami Vice was big.
I mean,
Sure, it
there's
was.
one way to do
sure.
it. There's only one way to do this. Okay.
How are we gonna do this?
Very simple.
And on the street bit,
Hey, you don't know nothing about cars, do you? No. It's a Ferrari. Testarossa. Okay, we got it. Also, it's gonna depend on the age, is what Hayden brought up. It's like if you watch Miami Vice, the Testarossa wasn't the first car; it was the Ferrari Daytona,
Daytona.
oh yeah,
Daytona
yeah.
Spider, which really wasn't a Daytona Spider because it was a kit car, but it's fine. Then it became the white Testarossa just to mess with people. So most likely there. How old I am and stuff, the Ferraris I know. Well, I love Ferrari, so I know a lot, enough. But the Dino was one a lot of people remembered in the 70s because it's a Dino, and for a long time it was never considered a Ferrari in certain circles, but it's an effing Ferrari, okay? And not to be confused with the Fiat Dino, which had the Ferrari engine in it. And if I could get a Fiat Dino, I would, because they're amazing. But yeah, I mean, I think the average person just goes in, slaps money down, gets car, leaves.
What do
And
you think? What do you think they would name a Lamborghini? Any model, or they would just say Lamborghini? Because we would say
Countach.
Say it's
Countach,
it's a Lambo,
say
man.
Diablo.
Who cares
we
what it
would
is?
say
It's like-
Huracan or
is it- is it-
Diablo or
Is it topless and can I roll up in it? It's a Lambo. Come on,
but
man.
if you look at it this way, there's certain things.
you're
like,
probably right. I hate and I agree with you on that one. It's a Lambo.
The average utilitarian car is most likely going to have a name. You have a Ford Taurus, Chevy Caprice, and marketing people in there, they know these things. They know those names are going to stick. So
it's so much easier to attach
right.
feeling and emotion to a good name of a
But
product
then
versus
you
a
have,
number.
right. Then you have Germans, and everything's an engineering project. Everything.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they're just going to look at it exactly what Jordan was saying. And so as we all know, it's a logical thing for Germans to go, this is a 3 Series model with a 3-liter engine. And Hans sat there in the back, slammed his beer, ate his brat, and said 330. Then somebody went.
But counterpoint, what about Volkswagen? They've got Passat and Golf and
Because
Beetle.
those Germans.
Beetle. What about those? They're Germans too, right?
I think I know
they're
what's
the
coming.
Bad Germans.
I knew that was going to say that.
But Volkswagen is the people's car, and so
They're-
they were like, "What do the people
crushing-
want? not what the engineers want."
Hey! Whose idea was the people's car? Come on, man.
I think we all know.
Ferdinand Porsche. So, no, I mean,
Ferdinand Porsche.
also look at the next level. BMWs were never really marketed to the average person, the average wage earner that's out there that has two kids. So that's an engineering project for them.
They
It's
were
like, hey,
they were
ultimate driving machine, right?
They were always aspirational. That's true.
Right. Volkswagen is very simply a massive car company that's pumping out cars. So Golf, Polo, Up with an exclamation point, Fox,
Exactly.
the other crazy names, and Fiat's the same way. Fiat's interesting. Fiat does both.
Ferrari does
X19,
both as well. Yeah.
right?
Fiat
And
subsidiary.
Fiat, does you had the 500, you had the 124, 128, you had then also the Fiat, Punto, and there was there was another Fiat Panda, the Multipla. So Fiat does both ways, which is Italian, which is kind of like sounds good, slap it on there.
But Alfa Romeo is just full names, right?
Usually, yeah, no, not all the time.
You're
done
right.
numbers.
That one's both too. It's just the ones that I normally think of.
Yeah. So
they've done some weird ones like the SSE and the RZ.
Well, it's also like GTV. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
GTV, GTV6. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. It is both.
Some Japanese were great, and there's Mazda Miata, the greatest name ever, is actually Miata is High German for reward. So it's like they used a German word for some reason. But
that's a weird one because it was the brainchild. It would not have existed without this Japanese speaking American engineer who was working.
Bob Hill.
Yeah, who was happened to be working for him at the time, and he was like, you know what? I really like British roadsters, and I think that you guys could build a good one. And they're just like, that's a weird idea. Don't ever work on that when you should be working on other stuff. You need to work on that after. And he was like, okay, and he did it for years. And then they were like, you say front engine rear wheel drive. I think we're going to have you do a mid-engine rear-wheel drive, front-engine front-wheel drive, and what you actually want to do. And then they said, okay, we'll do what you want to do after they built all three of those prototypes.
Right.
And we were talking with some car buddies today, and they were saying Miata is only in the U.S., and outside of the U.S., it was MX-5.
MX-5, or in Japan is the
Unos
Roadster.
Yeah.
Huh. Really? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but that just goes to show you it's different marketing for different countries.
MX-5 is the pretty global safe one. Like most people here know what you're talking about, and then Europe and is all of Europe is MX-5 . So in Australia,
in 2006,
did you say safe word?
Safe word?
No, never. I would never. I would never say my. Safe word.
Chung mentions that the Alpha 4C is one. They also have the 8C. So yeah, Alpha does have
both. It's both. Yeah, it's both.
Yep.
Dream track car.
They've always done both.
Yeah, Trung, the 124 Abarth is the Italian Miata in a lot of ways. I mean, it's Miata chassis, but a Fiat engine and Fiat styling, and it shares the platform with the 4th gen Miata, but they actually took the transmission from the 3rd gen Miata, which was stronger. And lo and behold, the big issue with the 4th gen Miatas have been the transmission. They tried to shave so much weight that it became really brittle. So,
right.
Yeah, it's also lovingly known as the Fiata.
Yep.
I think the Fiata also has Fiat's suspension tuning as well, because it's a more soft, like supple kind of car than the regular MX-5.
Yeah, but definitely. I mean. But I do believe it's like you have this massive mix, because Alpha is a massive mix. You have Alfetta, Alpha Sud, Montreal, 33-4, 177, 179, 182, et cetera, and then they just mix it all up. So I just think it's just kind of how they do it. But I think the mass marketing, which most people do, is going to be a name. I mean, Ford is pretty much all names.
F-150.
Yeah. Which is just, but that's, it's on it. But, it's just one of those things. So, yeah, most people remember a name before they remember a number.
Yep.
But most of us remember the cars that we absolutely adore and love doesn't matter. You know?
Yeah. If you build, if your product is just undeniable, then
Yeah.
it's not gonna matter. Just one last thought from me on that was that they want to make something that they can globally market, and if they can't make something, if they have to change the name for every country and like figure out, culturally like what is marketable there, then it's a lot more work than just saying this is a BMW 330i.
Well, some companies do take that time, like the Miata, so
Sure.
MX-5.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
But then
three
again,
different makes for the same car.
don't use right, but that's 3. So
Yeah.
And well, Japanese cars were always classic. We're always known for that. It was the Nissan Fairlady, and then they were like 240Z because it's Americans, and Americans
maybe
cars
they think
with Z.
Maybe they think Americans like numbers. Who knows?
It was actually a thing though that they put Z in the name because I think some American marketing person or somebody that was familiar with our culture said that they like cars with Z in the name. Have you ever noticed how many things have Z? The Corvette Z06, 240.
Well, yeah, Z28, Z24, Z71.
It's huge.
But I mean, when I was living in England, as a kid, we had a Nissan Silvia, which is the 200 SX over
which
here.
was the same name as Japan.
Yep.
Used.
Yeah.
So
numbers.
that's the thing. So, and I always remember that car is red, turbo. It was nice. The evil one drove it because it was her car, but it was a great car.
There was also like the Nissan Laurel, like all these names that are like big, that are like go over
Nissan
really well in
Bluebird
Japan.
station wagon.
The Bluebird, yeah.
My old man had a Nissan Bluebird station wagon, which is another story I'll tell eventually, because that was one of the other cars he absolutely loved until it was mercilessly murdered by one of my siblings. Murdered, I tell you, murdered. Anyway, that's another story.
I like how Porsche has a mix. They've got Macan Boxster. They've got the
Cayman,
911, of course, 928, 944,
924,
well,
914, and so
and
on.
of course, Boxster is just
959,
Boxer and Roadster.
Yeah.
What do you call that? A portmanteau.
Yes.
Yeah. But they have the Tycan. That's like, what is it? Tibetan for wind?
Poland? No. Okay.
No, there's some kind of name to Tycan. Young horse or something. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Young horse. But yeah, so there you go.
Cool.
Whatever.
Okay.
You guys
So
think. Yeah,
moving along to the next topic, John. I'll take it from you. But newsletter. We got a newsletter, so please join our newsletter. We'll spam you with car stuff. It will not be anything other than car stuff. So if you would like to,
about Sirius XM, it's good spam.
most likely not.
We won't ask you about your car's warranty either. Don't worry. Not that kind of car spam.
Hayden, don't limit us.
But
if you'd like to join, just send an email to newsletter@coloradocarsandcoffee.com. And we'll add you to the list. So right now we're planning for about every 2 weeks putting out this newsletter.
Yes.
It'll just have upcoming events. We get so many comments about where can I find events? Where can I find events? And we know that Facebook is not the ideal platform for events. But that's where we start from. We start with Facebook. We look at the events tab. We go to other car groups, try to find as many events as we can. We encourage all of you to crowdsource and place your events on our group. About Thursday or Friday, we'll post up a events post on our Instagram. And we're also hoping to bring back our monthly PDF of car events, although it gets stale pretty quickly, but still gives you a good idea of what's coming up. And also, we're going to come out with this newsletter. So if you want to, join up. Newsletter at coloradocarsandcoffee.com. Back to you, John.
All right. Next thing we're talking about is the Porsche synthetic fuel. Do you guys think about it?
EVs are over. It's all about synthetic fuel. This
Kyle,
is a synthetic fuel
find
podcast.
Find a new job, Kyle.
It's over, Kyle.
Start driving Porsches compatible with synthetic fuel.
All right, so this is all we're really gonna say. To me, yes, if this is a legitimately something that Porsche is going to pursue and they work out all the logistics, get it to work, etc., then yes, that would be fantastic because basically they're doing it to keep old Porsches on the road. That's part of their motivation, which is fine. If this is something that's going to go out there and work hand in hand and side by side with EVs, clean up the environment, etc., then I'm all for it. But I really don't think so, to be honest with you. I think they're going to look at it. They're going to see what they can do. The logistics is going to be what it is. And they're just going to say, well, you know what? The wave of the future is going to be all electric. And that's where we're going. That's just my blatant, blunt opinion right there.
What is this stuff made out of?
Let's see.
Hopes and dreams.
Can't find it.
Hopes and dreams.
Other than hopes and dreams.
It's made out of
CO2 and hydrogen ingredients. I don't know. Hydrogen's always an interesting thing.
Let's go to the other article and just to see. It's made out of.
They compare it kind of based on current comparisons, saying it'll have the same carbon output as an electric car.
Right.
It doesn't even say better; it just says same. And as we talked about with
it's
Austin
zero.
A few podcasts back, is like as EVs continue to grow, that like initial carbon footprint goes further down, and as they're on the road longer and longer, because they don't have the same limitations as some of these ICE cars that may last 200,000 miles and that's it. They continue to work off that initial upfront cost of emissions from the creation of it.
So Trung's asking a good foundational question. What is a synthetic fuel? Do we have a good answer for that?
Yeah, it's synthetic.
Well, it's everything is natural at some point if you break down its ingredients, but probably just more of a process, a process based kind of thing. I mean, what's the difference between natural and artificial flavoring? But I'm not a chemist, so I don't know anything.
Yeah,
about
neither's a
this.
chemist.
All I know is this sounds good because it sounds like I can drive, Porsche GT3s without having to use any fossil fuels. So I don't know. I'm all for this. I'll be hoping this goes well.
I mean, this is such in its infancy.
But we've had alternative fuels for a while. It just never quite caught on, I guess, because it's not scalable. Remember the biodiesel and guys going up to getting like used oil from restaurants, and converting their vegetable. Yeah,
you'd run cars on vegetable oil and stuff like that. I mean, some of that is kind of fatty, but I mean, literally, this is really in its earliest stages of any kind of development. Audi's been working on this since 2009. If that gives you any idea, they've been trying.
There's some big claims. I mean, no byproducts and CO2 reduction of 85%. Those are huge.
Yeah, they're claims.
Will this be affordable?
No,
I've always said that ultimately technology is gonna save the internal combustion engine and just make it at the very least so that we can still drive our old IC cars. Maybe not that they keep making new ones, but it's like, there's a lot of excitement about EVs, but truthfully, if you're not aware of like why Mazda's continuous combustion gasoline engine was important, or what Koenigsegg is doing with free valve, then you got to get up on this stuff before you say, oh, the internal combustion engine is dying. It's like, well, no, it's continuing to being developed, and they're doing some really, really neat stuff. And this is just another leg on those two things. This is just one more thing.
Yep. And if you don't know the importance of the LS to the FD RX-7,
Oh, come on.
I mean, hold on a second. Here.
You cannot talk about my man Dr. Felix Wankel like that, man.
I was
Yeah.
waiting for you to respond there, Hayden.
But
Well, I'm reading something. You guys should just keep going. I just want to see if I can find anything on here.
no, I mean
You
it's
looking synthetic stuff there.
Yeah,
Terry?
but it doesn't really make any
Terry's
sense.
learning organic chemistry over here. He's doing his OChem problems.
Yeah, that's right. What will be the price? That's definitely a good question. Will it be, like race gas?
Oh,
go out
yeah.
to HPR and get some of your synthetic e-fuel for the track day.
$10-12 a gallon, something like that.
Yeah,
right?
Is that what we're talking about, or are we talking about affordable? Good question. We don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna read this. If most people here might understand this, but I just looked up something to kind of say synthetic fuels is something. So this is I'm gonna read to y'all. So e-fuels are generated exclusively with renewable energy. To put it simply, hydrogen is produced using renewable electricity and then combined with carbon dioxide from industrial exhaust gases or from the air to form a hydrocarbon with zero net greenhouse gas emissions. This procedure is now commonly known by the terms as power to X or power to liquid and power to gas. Unlike biofuels, e-fuels do not compete with foodstuffs, food versus fuel, discussion, blah, blah, blah. Another key advantage is that synthetic fuels are not technically different than the conventional counterparts that could even be used in classic cars and sold via existing network of filling stations. So that's a very basic thing that I found on here. I'll stick it.
So they're taking a chemical process and they're taking your hydrogen and your carbon dioxide, and they're taking a chemical process to mesh these together and create a hydrocarbon.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. So,
Which I don't know why I haven't considered. Like I said, not a chemist, but I don't know. It just seems like that's something we should have come up with already.
So I don't know, but they asked, I found some crappy explanation so everybody can have some fun and do a little bit of research. But as I said, if this is something that's gonna be successful, great. I'm more happy to see it. It's not like I'm against any type of EV. To be honest with you, I don't have a problem with EVs, and some people do. That's fine. You could be ignorant the rest of your life. But if this goes and it works and it goes hand in hand, where you're going to be able to run older ICE cars, and if certain car manufacturers are going to pursue and say, hey, we'll do a couple of internal combustion cars, but the rest of our line is EVs or specialty cars, like these are our high performance cars, and this works. And it does what they say it does, and it has like a net zero greenhouse, gas effect. Great.
Yeah.
But then
definitely.
again, I don't know.
Yeah.
Seems like a positive thing all around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If it extends life of our ICE cars, great.
Yeah.
All right,
So
John.
we'll see.
John, what's next?
Next, we're talking about the Alpha Jacks, the CUV EV.
So
Sounds
Jordan,
like
tell us why you hate it.
Yeah, Jordan. Hey, you hate it, Jordan.
So it sounds like a breakfast cereal, but
It does.
Steve's being is exaggerating a bit because I am obsessed with this. Like, take my money. I mean, it looks like Steve said. It looks kind of like some old Alfa Romeos, which is kind of funny because the company is named Alpha with a PH, not with an F. I wonder if Alfa Romeo is going to have an issue with this. They haven't yet, so maybe it's fine. I literally can't wait. I love EVs and I love off-road vehicles. I don't have one, but this literally could be my first one. Just from the styling, I love the whole retro styling. Like, they're not trying to make it look like a spaceship from a sci-fi movie. They're just trying to make it look like something from the 80s or earlier even. And I'm thrilled. I mean, it looks small, and it kind of is. It's about 7 inches smaller than a Model Y, but the same storage capacity, it says. So I'm very intrigued. And cheaper, $38,000 before any sort of tax incentives, if those are still around in 2023. Mm-hmm. It says as early as 2023, so who knows if it'll actually be here by then.
What kind of range will it have with tires like that?
It says 250 miles.
It's not going to be helpful, that's for sure. But the cool part is this looks like an out of the box safari car.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's why this is
So,
undeniable car.
This has a lot of appeal to the car enthusiast.
Yeah,
For sure.
huge. They are following the trends.
Yeah.
They've seen Matt Farah's Safari 911, and they said that looks like something we need to be doing.
So
But do car enthusiasts actually buy cars that are new or not?
right
That's
now,
tough.
I know what car they modeled this off, so I'm gonna share my screen real quick there, Steve, so we can all see.
Sure. What you got?
And
This
there,
looks like how I would have built it in GTA.
there it is, kids.
Oh yeah,
There it is.
it's a Lada.
It's a Lada.
Really?
That's all they did.
It does
They-
look like a Lada. Yeah.
It does. It does. Because if you look at the front of that car, okay, which I'll do right there. There's the
come on.
front. Lada.
Yeah. Nailed it.
That's great. Anyway, there you go.
Fantastic.
They even picked my favorite color. I mean, they built this for me. I don't know what else to say.
How much are
This
they
could
expect the cost there, Jordan?
They said 38 grand before tax incentives, which is pretty solid. I mean, for EVs right now, that's on the lower end of the spectrum.
Yeah. Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
is that feasible? Is that? I mean, what's electric Volt? What's this Chevy Bolt cost? Same area, same price.
About that, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So
We talked about it. We talked about it a week or two ago. Yeah, it's right around there.
Mhm.
I feel like people are going to complain about 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds, but I don't think if 0 to 60 is your thing, you're not buying this EV. You're not looking at a Safari car. So
A Safari EV.
I want
Don't run out of battery when you're safarying.
Hmm.
I even love like the two-door styling of like kind of
Right.
the mini crossover type. Because so JAX stands for Junior All-Terrain Crossover, apparently. And I've always loved that kind of theoretical thing. I mean, the Toyota CHR really piqued my interest when it came out until I like sat in one and realized the back seats are pathetic, the trunk is pathetic, everything's pathetic on it. Even the power is really bad. So this will be, I don't know, really interesting. I like the styling a lot more. CHR tried to go almost too futuristic, but it had that kind of coupe look to it, which I really like.
So this is just an all new car company? Are they going to build a lot of these things?
They had a sedan concept too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the Ace.
The Ace, yeah.
Seems like a lot of new EV companies popping up.
So Trung wanted to know my thoughts on the Rivian, and
See more.
Yeah.
this would look so good with the Rivian next to a Rivian in my garage. Let's just say that.
True. There you go.
The Rivian's cool in its own way. It's not really a competitor to this. I mean, that's a pickup truck, and that's about double the cost.
It's up market, way up market from this. Rivian's going for fairly luxurious.
And they're more proven. I mean, they were pretty successful in the show the long way up, and they just have a lot under their belt. Versus we don't know anything about Alpha and how they're gonna fare. Like Trung said, they might have quality issues, and yeah, they might, but we'll see. I want this so bad, but at the same time, I'm not the person who buys the first model year of anything ever. So,
Right.
except for
Right,
iPhone.
man. Except for what? I talked over you.
I buy iPhones on launch day, but that's the only thing.
Okay. As long as you don't camp outside the store, then.
But you know he does.
Well,
on, really?
I try not
You
to.
totally know he does.
Well, back when I worked there, I was always there on launch day overnight,
Oh,
like
okay.
before the launch. It was awesome.
Hmm.
Well, next car we're talking about is the 2022 Porsche 911 GT3.
Burn it. Next.
How
The
rude.
undermount wing, though, that's so cool.
The swan neck wing?
Yeah, is that what they call it?
Yeah, swan neck. It means it mounts on the top side of the wing. So
Yeah.
like the actual like edge that's used to create downforce is completely smooth instead of being interrupted by that. They've had that on. If you look at their RSR GTE car that they've been running for the last few years, it's had that.
Yeah.
So
The wing's like my favorite part, so I don't know why you would buy the touring one, which is 10 grand more with no wing, but whatever.
Because
I don't like this. I don't like this wing as much as the old one, though. I think it's a little bit weird. I like the one on the RSR, but this is like when you make it smaller, it just, I don't know. There's something about it.
I like the touring without the wing. Is it actually cost more? Wow.
It said 10
Not that
grand.
it's not really as affordable for most of us anyway, but
speak for yourself, sir.
Charging more for less. Is
let
a
me know when you
tradition.
buy one. Terry.
Charging more for less is a tradition in Porsche GT3.
That's true. But
So.
yeah, I have a soft spot for GT3 Tourings. They're just awesome.
I'm just glad Porsche is a member of the Manual Gearbox Preservation Society.
They tried to take it away, and people said, "No, give it back." They said, "Okay."
Well,
I don't know. Maybe this could grow. Maybe this swan neck wing can grow on me. But there's something I don't know. I think I'm used to the old school one. More.
I wasn't tracking on all the cross members there behind the driver. Passenger.
Yeah. Well, it'll be. There's other pictures that don't have the half cage, so it's kind of been an optional thing for a while.
Oh, has it? Okay.
To have a half cage or not. But
Are those the standard seats? Because I don't like them.
no, they'll be you'll be able to get several different seats.
When
yeah.
I buy mine. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, yes, because Jordan and I are the only two people in here who can afford things like this. Because unlike our compatriots in here, we're not poors.
If that were true, I'd have a real 1, 2,
I didn't know that.
This little.
Thanks for reminding us.
Yes, you are more than welcome. Because remember, my official title is Lord Bacon of Porklineshire.
Well, thank you, Lord
I have-
Bacon of Porklineshire.
I have horses. No, so I actually really don't mind the GT3, but I'm a
So if you
convertible
guys-
person.
If you guys had a choice, would you go GT3 or Cayman GT4?
Who came in GT4?
The new 25th anniversary Boxster.
This GT3 or a new GT4? This GT3 is probably going to be really, really good.
I would say this GT3 or a new GT4.
Oh, that's hard.
Well, consulting with my finances, I would get both because I'm not poor.
Aesthetics wise, it's the GT4 for sure. Paul from Everyday Driver was talking about this, and there's something about the back end, and now that he said it, I can't unsee it. It has a bit of an underbite, large lower lip sort of look to the back end, and that picture doesn't show it as quite as well.
Me too.
But
He's a Cayman fan.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who listened to that, and I was like, he's right. I knew there was something wrong with the back end of that car.
He's always right.
No, keep going.
Leave it to he's a car designer, so he'll nitpick these things that that you're like. There's one with like the airflow on it, Steve. If you wait on which number is it? Or sorry, I don't know.
Keep going.
21.
Keep going. You got one more
There's
and
one
one
right
more.
Yeah. See it now?
You see it? No.
When it's from a higher angle, when the photographer's not sitting their butt on the ground. You see it? It's just it's just a little
like
bit
it's
underbitey.
like it's giving birth to another car, or
Thanks, I did.
Well, we have to put an engine back there, Steve. Okay.
all right.
Sorry. We have to make room. We have to make room for
for the mufflers and turbos and stuff. Oh, it doesn't have turbos, right?
this one.
It's naturally aspirated.
Yes.
9,000 rev limit.
Should be. Yep. That's what the old one was.
I bet you this sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'll bet it does not sound poor at all.
No, not poor at all. Not poor. That's for
Like
sure.
Terry.
I'm super poor.
Oh, he's shifting gears on us.
I could be talked almost financially into a GT4. GT3, it's a bit tougher.
It's up there.
It's a
but-
bit tougher.
You know me, Steve. I'm all about old GT3 997, which is less than a new GT4. So there you go.
Oh,
All right.
997.
There you go.
That's the one for me.
Hmm.
It's nice,
There you go.
smaller size, lighter weight, still kind of got that modern 911 thing going on. I like
Let's
it.
just have a future episode where we each build our own Porsche.
Oh,
Sounds
configurate
fun.
Porsche configurators. You can stay on those all day.
Yeah, we've
Sounds fun.
built stupid luxury cars once. It was hilarious. Yep. We actually built RVs too. So
Yep, it's good.
all right. Okay. What do you got first, John?
Well, our last topic of the night is the Consumer Reports brand rankings, which put Mazda at number 1.
No. You know what? The story
Who cares?
is not
Your
that.
report.
The story is Alfa Romeo lands in last place.
How far?
You know, Steve, sometimes there's just got to be winners and losers in this world, and
Hey, in the
you know,
top
me
10?
and Jordan we're on
Is
top
Alfa
of the
Romeo-
world.
Is Alfa Romeo in the top 10 or the top 5?
I don't know. Last.
Oh,
Alfa
Okay,
Romeo is
Very
number-
simply put, we all know, Alphas is so unreliable. Get over it. The fact that the most unreliable car known to man, the Land Rover, beat the Alpha.
Yeah,
Steve.
you don't want to get beat by Land Rover.
You got beat by a
Alfa
Land
Romeo's-
Rover.
Alfa
And then-
Romeo is number 31 in this listing.
There's Mitsubishi, who apparently still makes cars,
Well,
and then Jeep.
right. So hilariously enough, Steve owns 2 of the cars that are basically third from
Oh,
last and last.
my choice in cars is impeccable. I want you to
It
know.
is. It is.
I also have a BMW up there in the second category.
I
Okay.
was surprised by that.
It's the one that I've not been driving for 2 years.
Why is that?
Go figure. It's in
Man.
second place. Huh.
Yeah, but you have an old wagon that has got a big old like S54 swap, and it's being weird right now.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say, you had a-
that's
you had a-
different.
A perfectly running wagon with no problems, and
Well, it wasn't perfectly running, and there were problems, and that's
Yeah, there's
why
problems.
I pulled the trigger on said project. Anywho, don't
Well,
make this
good
about,
from Mazda.
don't make this about me. Let's talk about somebody else.
Mazda's just
Okay.
the best.
Mazda rules.
Land Rover beat Alpha. Jeez.
So we know another person who is called Eve, who owns an Alpha too, and Eve also has a Mitsubishi. Isn't that right, Eve? I mean, Steve. Now, I will give Mazda credit for. I mean, because I've seen their cars, and their new ones are really nice, and they are good. BMW being where they are is usually where they always are. I'm just surprised that Subaru is in third place. What?
Subaru owners love their cars.
Oh, I know they love their cars.
There's no denying this.
It is
They do
surprising
love their cars.
that BMW is ahead of Porsche.
That is weird to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was the only real surprise in this top group here, kind of down to say like Toyota, was BMW. I was surprised that people are they have so much satisfaction with their ownership, but I guess they're not spending time at the dealership. So
I was
So-
surprised by Chrysler.
Why isn't Tesla higher?
Chrysler makes like 2 cars though, because look down the list. There's Dodge,
Right.
Yep.
so and then there's Jeep. So it's not like Chrysler. No, like specifically like Chrysler Pacifica owners like their cars.
Yeah, why
Okay.
is Tesla so low?
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know, but I just bought their stock this week, so let's not talk badly about them. Okay.
So, but also this is, it's Consumer Reports, so it's like, customer surveys and
You know what?
predicted reliability, et cetera, et cetera.
What
And
is
a long period of
interesting
argue.
about Consumer Reports, though, I cannot believe how many, like just normal. When I sold cars, how many normal shoppers, not enthusiasts,
Oh yeah, they
would
used to-
say, "Well, they would mention something about Consumer Reports or
Mhm.
saying that they did research on Consumer
Yeah.
Reports." I'm
Hmm.
shocked how much stock normal car buyers put in
Well,
Consumer Reports.
back in the day, Consumer Reports also used to have a TV show.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I didn't know this.
Yes, they did. There was many interesting things back in the day where
Yeah,
they
I missed
actually
a lot.
there was a show on that took TV commercials and ripped them apart to show all the bullshit about them, because there used to be a law, which is no longer around, where a TV commercial had to be truthful.
Oh,
Okay, so you couldn't mislead the consumer. Now that law is gone, it's replaced by all the disclaimers. So when they sit there and say actual car cannot do, barrel rolls in the sky, no shit, really, I didn't know that.
side effects include this big list.
But that, so like literally you see like car commercials, and they're, doing all the stunts and all that. They say, professional driver in a closed course. They also, or if they're making it look like the car flies, you see that little disclaimer saying this car cannot fly. That's what replaced that law. Because back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, if you did that on a TV commercial, in theory, you opened yourself up to litigation, because you are now demonstrating that this product can do this, but it can't.
Yeah.
It was interesting things, but Consumer Reports used to have a show. It's very interesting, because they do everything. I mean, what I'm saying, like, Consumer Reports say it's Consumer Reports. It's just saying that they're just taking, surveys of ownership and predicted reliability, etc., to come up with this list. So, like all lists, it's going to be subjective as well. But
speaking of car ownership surveys, I told you a surprising amount of people mentioned Consumer Reports. You know who I never heard mentioned once?
Yeah.
JD Power.
JD Power.
And manufacturers tout their JD Power rankings
Oh,
like
yes.
no other. It's crazy. And I've never, of a couple years of selling Fords and Hondas and Kias too, no one said, "Well, I heard you guys are very, very well reported in JD Power."
I can. Well, should I really? Well, this is way off subject, but I know there's a way to manipulate JD Power.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just
Well, a lot of post ownership surveys are. And
it's not that. It's because JD Power basically gives an award for everything. Okay,
right.
So if you're looking at customer service, etc., for other stuff, there is things you can do where you're saying, okay, we're going to focus on this, and this. So that's one way of actually doing it. But anyway,
it's also like what kind of a metric is initial ownership satisfaction or whatever they call that. It's like, yeah, I've had my car a week. I hope it doesn't break. I don't know.
I had my car a week and I spill a taco on it.
I mean, I don't trust any of them because Consumer Reports is basing this on their consumer base, so it's not necessarily a representation of the population. And I also read a lot of their important employees, or they have ties to well-positioned employees at large OEMs. So it's I don't think this is
You mean there could be bias?
Well,
there's no bias in media. How dare you?
There is a way to manipulate anything. Put it that way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Data is on. It's what is it? Data is only as good as what you're choosing to collect. So
Yeah.
what you're choosing to measure.
Ooh. But anyway, hey, boohoo for Alpha.
Mazda wins. Alpha loses.
I would buy an Alpha and drive it.
So would
I. Of course.
So take that, Consumer Reports. Take it.
All right. That wraps up our topics for today. I will transition into a sponsor segment. So our sponsor for today's podcast is Brendan Wild with Wild Colorado Homes. And you can find him on Facebook at Wild Colorado Homes, or just do a search for Brendan Wild, Wild Colorado Homes. He's out of the Keller Williams DTC branch, serving Denver Metro and Fort Collins to Colorado Springs corridor. He's a U.S. Navy vet, where he was a missile control technician serving in Operation Iraqi and Enduring Freedom. He made the switch to real estate in 2019, hasn't looked back. He's a certified realtor operating at one of the highest producing branches in the state. He has all the resources of Keller Williams to generate fast results, happy clients, as well as a growing network of national agents for those with real estate questions in any state. His offer to our members at Colorado Cars and Coffee is up to $500 home warranty plan for buyers and up to $500 in miscellaneous closing costs for sellers, and also great incentives for referrals. We just had a post on our group the other day by Paul of some sweet mansion out in Conifer, $2 million pad with 5-car, 6-car, 7-car garage. I thought that was pretty sweet.
I thought it was like a 9-car garage and like 2 lifts or something like that.
It was pretty nice.
Looked really sweet.
So anytime a house is sold on the group, I get a small cut of that. Maybe 1% of $2 million. What is that? Somebody do the numbers. But yeah, no, I'm kidding. I don't. I wish I did.
No, he's not.
But anyway, go check out Brendan Wild if you're looking to go buy a house or go sell a house. So yeah, and we appreciate all of our sponsors.
Get that $20,000 cut, Steve. That's not bad.
I would take that. That would go to Alfa Romeo repair bills. So take it, John. Exactly. Take it away, John.
It's time for us to hit the road. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on our podcast. Find us in the local Colorado car scene by searching for Colorado Cars and Coffee. Well, it's time for us to grab our coffee and go. See you down the road, everyone.
All right, everybody. See y'all later.
So long.
Night.